Nehemiah chapter 1, verse 1, 2, and 3.
The words of Nehemiah, the son of Hakaliah. And it came to pass in the month of Chislew, in the 20th year, as I was in Shushan the palace, that Hananiah, one of my brethren, came, he and certain men of Judah, and I asked them concerning the Jews that had escaped, which were left of the captivity, and concerning Jerusalem. And they said unto me, the remnant that are left of the captivity there in the province are in great affliction and reproach. The wall of Jerusalem also is broken down, and the gates thereof are burned with fire.
Chapter 2, beginning at verse 1.
And it came to pass in the month Nisan, in the 20th year of Artaxerxes the king, that wine was before him. And I took up the wine and gave it unto the king. Now I had not been before time sad in his presence. Wherefore the king said unto me, why is thy countenance sad, seeing thou art not sick? This is nothing else but sorrow of heart. Then I was very sore afraid, and said unto the king, let the king live forever, which should not my countenance be sad, when the city of the palace of my father's sepulchres lieth waste, and the gates thereof are consumed with fire.
Stop right there for a second. Why shouldn't I be sad when the gates back home have been burned with fire and the city lieth in wait? Why I shouldn't be sad when mama them ain't saved, when uncle, brothers and sisters aren't saved? Why shouldn't I be saved when things are so bad back home? Verse 4.
Then the king said unto me, for what dost thou make request?
How can I help you to fix things back home?
So I prayed to the God of heaven, and I said unto the king, if it please the king, and if thy servant have found favor in thy sight, that thou wouldest send me unto Judah, unto the city of my father's sepulchres, that I may build it.
Stop right there. We're going to get through this in a few weeks, but we're going to stop right there. And I just need to tag this for a moment today, looking at verse 2, chapter 1, from the New King James Bible, the B part. And I asked them concerning the Jews who had escaped, who had survived the captivity, concerning Jerusalem. I asked them a question. I asked my brother a question. I want to tag this and ask you the question, how are things back home? Look at somebody and say, how are things back home? You can't really be anointed to fix what you don't know needs to be fixed. Sometimes if you ask the right question, you can get the right answer. In our study of the leaders of Israel, we find a frequent pattern of management failures. We find a frequent pattern of management failures. Many of Israel's leaders were labeled as having a, hear me, respectable beginning, but an ineffective ending. Just because you start well does not mean you're going to finish well. And if you look at the history of church, most good people end bad in the Bible. Oh my God. If we are not careful as a local church, we can have that respectable beginning and have a very ineffective ending, and it's not always the leader. It can be the people. I hope I can get to this. Nehemiah did not sin. It was the people. It was the people, and I'm going way ahead of myself. If you look at the book of Nehemiah, Ezra and Nehemiah had to jump in because the people began to do the very thing God told them not to do. God says, when you get there, don't take on a whole lot of strange women. Don't you start marrying all of those women. He didn't even say there was anything wrong with marrying the women. He said because they're strange, each one of them have strange religions. And if you marry a woman with a different religion, you're going to adopt her. As we read 1 Kings chapter 11, Solomon himself sinned against God. He mainly sinned by marrying many foreign wives. He didn't just, now he possibly could have married many wives of the faith and been okay. But the Bible said he married many foreign, strange women. And then the Bible says he worshiped their God. He wasn't strong enough to convince them to worship his God, but he worshiped their God. So that the kingdom was split. In 931 BC, the northern tribe were ruled by Jeroboam. Jeroboam was an evil king. But then the other part was ruled by Rehoboam, the southern tribe, which Judah and Benjamin was in the southern tribe under Rehoboam. Now Rehoboam was worse than Jeroboam. But both kingdoms continued to bear the brand name of idolatry and immorality. Now Judah means praise, and Benjamin, you know, was the favorite. Now when praise and the favorite is brand named with idolatry and immorality, there's something wrong with the church. Now I'm not saying that there are not sins in the church, but the church ought not have the brand name. And I just want to ask you a question. Are you trying to protect our brand? Oh my God, y'all gonna make me hurt myself here. I want to ask you one more time now. I ask you and you looked at me, now ask somebody else. Are you protecting the brand? Are the decisions you're making decisions that